So those of you who do not know me, my name is Mary Ann. I have known Todd. I was in second grade, Todd was in first grade. He was a crazy little kid running around. He had a patch on his eye. I just remember him just being this little wild man.
Nothing changed.
Later on, after we sort of grew up, well, you grew up, I didn't really grow that much, I have to wear heels. But we started training together. And so my Todd story is, this is a gentleman who taught me that there are no boundaries when it comes to pushing oneself. One day, I remember Todd coming over and saying, oh, you know when you're riding so hard and you go to blindness? And I went, no. I don't know about that, Todd. And he goes, yeah, no. It's like you're riding so hard and your blood is just pumping so fast. It's like bursting capillaries in your eyes and you can't see. So, from that day on, my ultimate goal was to go to the point where I couldn't see. Or, it was also when there's a giant hill, he goes, let's see who can make their heart blow up first. So anyway, this was my introduction to training and to Todd. And believe it or not, these guys have endured far more than I have. Mr. Aaron Davis and the awesome Pete Rumsey. Gentlemen.
Hey.
Oh, you like that?
First, let's take a moment and raise our glasses and recognize who we're here for tonight. Here's to the awesome Todd Buckley. Happy 60th birthday.
You old fart.
So,
For my dark glasses.
nice. So, when Donna asked Aaron and I to say a few words about Todd, she asked us to do a little roast of Todd, and at first we were a little bit dumbfounded. We didn't know quite what to say about him. Most of you know Todd's an impressive guy, physically impressive, in good shape, nice guy. But then the more we thought about it, the more we thought, this might not be so hard. And we decided that the good news is, 60 years old shouldn't be too hard for Todd to adjust to. Because he's actually behaved kind of like an old fart for a long time.
Emphasis on fart, by the way.
And Donna knows this really well. Yeah, the poor girl.
You know,
And, yeah, go ahead.
these days when he turns down the lights, it's not to be romantic. It's just to save energy.
It's true. It's true. I've seen it. I've seen it. And for Todd these days, a good all-nighter means that he doesn't have to get up to go to the bathroom twice.
And you know, for 20 years or so, we've known this guy, but he picks his cereal not based on flavor or what kind of toy is in there or what's on the back to read, but on fiber content. I mean, who does that?
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. And now, happy hour for Todd means a nap.
When you look at him, you know, he still has that childlike innocence. He's kind of in his wonder years still. Wondering where he left his phone, his glasses, his car, what day of the week it is.
Hearing aids.
Hearing aids, yeah. And, you know, what strikes me these days, too, and I don't say much to you, but I feel kind of bad for Todd's beautiful kids and their significant others, too. Because now, and where's Jessica and Danielle? God bless you. God bless you. You know, because now going over and hanging out at Todd's house is a little bit like taking a trip to a haunted house. There's these creepy sounds and these strange smells that nobody can explain.
Is that a sound effect?
So, let's raise our glasses again. And I want to reflect on, it's so cool for well, Aaron. I want to reflect on a saying from the great Todd Buckley. And I want to remind Todd more than ever to remember this saying. Todd, if you've got it up, keep it up. Donna would appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you're not done. You're not done. Sit right back down there.
Sit right back down.
Like Mary Ann said, everybody's got a Todd story. So first of all, I had a flashback just now because I spent a lot of professional time with Mr. Rumsey doing exactly what we're doing. So that was fun. It was great. Anyway, my Todd story, I have a lot. But my first one is probably 20 years or so ago. I think the first day I was out with the ARC riding team. I was feeling pretty good. I was younger, obviously, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna really push it when I get to the front. And I pushed it a couple times, you know, came through the loop. I guess there's a few non-cyclists in the room. Any non-cyclists? Okay, leave now. Anyway, and you know, we did a few loops, and it's like, okay, yeah, I felt good. I did good. You know, I think Todd's gonna be impressed. I think he's gonna let me be on the team. This is gonna be great. And then he came up to me and said, he goes, you know, when you get to the front, don't go hard like that. You mess up the whole thing. I was crushed. I was crushed. But we had, subsequent to that time, we had a lot of great times together. Italy, Morocco, some of which you probably don't remember.
Yeah.
The Midnight Express still is out there on those trains. Anyway, awesome times in France. So my last two stories of Todd are in the Grand Canyon of France, which many of you have been to with me. Just a spectacular, one of the most beautiful places in the world. And there's a gorge, but let's say the edge of the gorge, the railing of the gorge is like where that wall is. And then there's like another 30 feet of like dirt, and then there's a cliff.
If either of you guys see it,
Well, you can kind of see it. And Todd, you know, we all run over, get out the cameras. Mary Ann is down there taking pictures. And Todd's like, and then he gets to here, and he takes his bike, and he puts it like this protective barrier. Boom! I said, Todd, what's up with that? And he said, you know, well, it clearly looks, it's different. I'm having, you know, I can't really see it so well, etc. And I laughed my ass off to the point where the next year we had 6 or 7 guys, and Todd wasn't there, and we did a commemorative photo where we all lined up with our bikes like this. So I don't know, maybe it's here hanging somewhere, but anyway. But then, of course, unfortunately, I had a problem with my own eyes lately, where I have exactly the same problem. So I actually said to Todd, I said, dude, I have to apologize for making fun of you for all these years, because now that it's happened to me, I really see it was really difficult. And it must have been really hard. And if you think I'm being sincere, anyway, so then my last Todd story is this, which is I've only said this to one other person in my life, which is my wife. Which is I did unfortunately only meet Todd when I was maybe 35 or so. So Todd, I wish I had met you a lot earlier. That's all I can say. Happy birthday. All right, who's next?
Randy,
me.
you are here for a while.
Sit back down.
Come on, sit down. You just wait.
I think I need a drink.
Todd, could you get him in? What do you want? What would you like?
Bucky knows.
Bucky, get him his drink. Todd, this is payback for when I used to sit behind you crying. There you go.
I have so many Todd stories. I won't tell most of them because I don't want to put Danielle and Jess in therapy. But any Seinfeld fans in the audience here? All right, so for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years, every year we go down to Virginia for a week to ride our bikes. And you've all seen the Seinfeld episode about good naked, bad naked. Well, Todd likes to get out of the shower and then walk around the farmhouse naked as he's calling the barnyard animals up to the house. So that's bad naked. More recent story, I was on the bike path up in Coventry one day and I see two guys riding toward me. One big guy was Skip. I picked him out from a long ways away. He had the Arkansas jersey on. And I'm thinking, that's nice. It's Skip and Marianne out for an afternoon bike ride. Well, as I got closer, it was actually Skip and Todd. But, happy birthday, buddy. Oh, one other quick one. Him and Aaron were talking about eyes. So I think one of the first times Lori met Todd, we were over at Jiminy Peak, and he said something like, you know, I had a detached retina, and she thought he said detached rectum. So,
All right, this is totally unplanned. Some people, when they hear their name called out, they think, oh, that's good. And some people hear they call their name called out, oh, that's bad. We call Todd the Freak, and that's good. Now, let me give you a couple of examples. The man's won more races than I've entered. Phenomenally fast, gifted, but determined and works hard. When we go out and ride our bikes, some people like to ride. He likes to kill himself. That leaves a poor son of a, like me, hanging off the back saying, oh, I wish I could be up there. Okay, so this all sounds like stories. Let me give you a recent example. This is in the last 10 days. There was a race. It was an online race. I know everything's online these days. Zwift, online, 650 entrants. Where do you think Todd placed?
Second. First.
Okay, first was a cheater. They eliminated him. Okay, because it's online, you know, it's electronic. Todd got second, third. But it was called third, but he got second. 650 guys. All right, all I have to say is, hear, hear to the Freak. Hey!
Okay, so let's do a non-cycling. Danielle, one of your most, oh, I am so, Jessica?
Do you want me to read the poem?
Yeah. Because I still have